Hi guys, I'm James and I help people get to a conversational level of different languages. I personally am native in English and I speak Italian and Spanish. So today I'm going to talk about the difference between motivation and discipline. So you might have heard these terms intertwined. Motivation is what gets you started. Discipline is what keeps you continuing for a long period of time. Now with language learning, I can compare it to fitness and going to the gym and doing sports. Initially, if you start going to the gym now, January time, it's a perfect example because a lot of people decide to start going to the gym. However, luckily for everyone else who goes to the gym around the whole year, at the end of January and in February, it starts to get quieter because those people with New Year's resolutions revert back to their standard habits that they had before the new year, and their habits haven't changed, their daily lifestyle and priorities haven't changed. So the question is, how do you identify the difference between discipline and motivation, and how do you use it to your advantage when learning a different language? Well, so I take classes in Spanish and Italian. I call them classes. I have video calls with native speakers on an online platform, and I pay for half an hour sessions with them, just a few times per week, just to keep up my grammar, and I alternate between Italian and Spanish. However, most of the time, I can't be bothered to do the sessions. I book them a few weeks in advance, so next week I might have 2, the week after I might have 2 again, just to maintain it, and then outside of that, I listen to podcasts and stuff in my car, and I also, occasionally, I might write down some grammar or write down some patterns, which is, in order for me to get to the higher level, that's necessary. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that don't rely on your motivation to help you learn a language, because it'll come and it'll go, just like your feelings from one day to another. One day you might be inspired by something you watch. You might watch a film on fighting and you might think, oh yeah, I want to learn how to fight and defend myself. The next day you can't be bothered. So really, it helps to know the difference between these, because you're not always going to be motivated to learn a different language. And most likely, the first few weeks of you trying to learn a different language, you're not going to see much progress. Your mind has to take a while to absorb the information, get used to what it hears, get used to giving you the right words to say at the right time. So that's memory recall of a new word or phrase that you learn. Quite often it'll take a while for you to actually be able to use it. So the point behind this is discipline is what you should look at, really. Motivation gets you going, discipline helps you to continue. And it's the same, we're disciplined in our job because the outcome of not going to our job means that we don't get money, we don't get paid. So that's a big push, really, a big motivator to actually get out of bed and go to work, whatever time you get up in the morning. But with languages, there's no one to do that for you. It's you're doing it yourself. You can use, however, language apps like Duolingo or Memrise, and they give you they give you notifications on your phone as a reminder to do it. But if you don't do it, what happens? Nobody dies, nothing happens. So you have to set up goals with yourself, with language goals, and you have to set up a routine, whether or not you like it or not. You set up a routine for future you. So future me next week, I might not be bothered to do Italian, but then I've got an Italian class, I've paid for it, and that's me saying to myself, look James, I know you don't care about it, I know you can't be bothered, you'd rather just, relax or watch Netflix or something, but you're going to do it. And I know that I'll progress from it because I've done it enough in the past to see results. I know that, oh actually, that phrase that I struggled to say a while ago, I can say that now. So by using that, you have evidence that it does work for you in the past. That helps you justify why you should do it even if you're not feeling it. So I want to let you know that even people who speak different languages, or people who do fitness, or you might resonate with this, you don't feel up for it every single time. In fact, many times you don't want to do it at all, but you push yourself to do it. And that is one of the hardest things, because you might have had a reason. For example, it's New Year now. You might think, New Year, new me. Let's learn Italian or Spanish or French or a different language. The reason behind doing that has to be strong enough to get you started in the first place. That's perfect. But then when you're doing a language and when you're learning about it and testing it, you don't have to be motivated for that. You just have to know that you're there for a reason in the future. And then when you look at someone's body, or you look at how well wow, you can speak a language, that's amazing. How do you do that? You look at that, you see the results of that, but really, as you'll know, it's not overnight, it takes a long time. That's just peering through the window of a small chunk of time that's missing the massive amount of time, the years that's gone into that. So if you see someone who's at the gym and they're like ripped, they're really sort of like muscular and everything, or you see a runner and they can run really well, that's what you're seeing there is a little bit of what you haven't seen in the background. So what I'm saying is that discipline matters more than motivation, and to help discipline you have to make it as easy as possible to do anything you can towards language learning. If it's in the morning and if you're not doing language lessons or practicing with a native speaker, at least have it on your phone or something, or when you're on your daily commute, maybe you're currently listening to music, you're going to have to stop doing something else in order to do this, because your priorities will have to change. And there's a phrase, isn't there, like you can do anything but you can't do everything. You only have a certain amount of time, so you have to say no to other stuff if this is important enough to you for that. Some people, they have kids, they have like an intensive job, that's fine. But if you've got a few minutes every day, even 10 minutes a day, to go on keep using Duolingo, keep using Memrise, or use a word list or phrase list, or listen to a podcast, the same one again and again and again, and learn stuff that you're interested in. Integrate it around your lifestyle as much as you can so that you can't miss it. That's discipline for you. So motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going. Don't expect to be constantly motivated when learning a different language. Most of the time, you can't be bothered doing it. That's the truth. But by pushing yourself through it time and time again, it adds up over time, and the results are outstanding. Compound interest applies to languages as well as money and everything else. So yeah.